But there's another document, even more disturbing. It involves silver push technology. It's called UXDT, ultrasonic cross-device tracking. Here, we're not even talking about audible sound.
It has happened to everyone, at least once. You're having dinner with a friend. The phone is on the table. Screen off. You start talking about something unusual, maybe a trip to Japan or a very specific brand of shoes you've never bought. You didn't Google it. You didn't text anyone. You just said it out loud. You get home, open Instagram, and the very first ad you see is a flight to Tokyo, or those exact shoes. A chill runs down your spine. How is that possible? Is it a coincidence? Is it magic? Or was someone or something listening? For years, they told us we were paranoid. Silicon Valley CEOs swore under oath before Congress. We do not use microphones to spy on users. It would be impossible. CEOs can lie. Code does not. Today, Axiomia stops listening to their words and starts following their footprints. We enter the labyrinth of digital contracts, territories where your privacy is traded for free service. Hundreds of pages written not to be read, but we read them all. And what we found in the fine print isn't a policy. It's the blueprint of your digital abduction. The Baader-Meinhof Effect, psychological manipulation. Tech companies have a standard answer for what happens at that dinner table. They call it frequency illusion, the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon. They tell you that because you talked about Japan, your brain now notices ads it used to ignore. They say it's just cognitive bias. But there's one thing they never explain. If it's just an illusion, why does the ad appear right after conversation, not a week before? Why is the timing so precise, so surgical? The truth is, they use psychology to gaslight an entire generation. They want you to believe your senses are lying to you, so you'll stop asking questions. But Axiomia doesn't settle for coincidences. If the math doesn't add up, it's because someone rigged the numbers. It's called the privacy paradox. We all say we care about our data, yet we're willing to sell it to use a free app. One study calculated that to actually read all the privacy policies you agree to in a year would take entire working days. No one does. They know it, and they count on it. If you had read the data collection section of Google or Amazon before putting that smart device in your bedroom, maybe you wouldn't have slept so peacefully. Look at this document. It's taken directly from Google's privacy policy, data we collect. Let's read the highlighted line together. We collect voice and audio information when you use audio features. Sounds harmless, right? They tell you it's just to make the voice assistant work. But the devil is in the details, or rather, in the section labeled Improving Technologies. That's where the real evidence is. Patents, documents. For years they answered our accusations with a condescending smile. Smiles disappear when patent office records are opened. Look at this document. Google patent number B. Let's read what it says.
Cut the signal. Stop everything. Enough bedtime stories. Now I'm talking. You're wondering who the hell I am. Why hide behind a hood and a voice modulator? This isn't theater. It's survival. Out there are high-definition facial recognition cameras everywhere. Their servers hold the voice biometrics of half the planet. If I showed my face for a single frame, if I used my real voice for seconds, their algorithms would identify me before this video ends. They'd know who I am, where I live, what I had for breakfast. I am Zero. I had to become a ghost, because the only way left to shove the truth in your face is to stop existing for the system. And the truth is this: they're mocking you. They tell you you're paranoid. They tell you it's impossible for your phone to listen to you. Look here, I'm not bringing you one proof. I'm bringing you two. And together, they form a perfect cage. On the left, 2012, U.S. Patent 8,112,504b2. Read the damn title. Advertising based on environmental conditions. Years ago, they were arrogant. They admitted it. We used the microphone to hear sounds, understand where you are, and sell you ads. It said advertising clearly. Then people got scared, so they changed the words, not the trap. On the right, 2022, U.S. Patent 11,430,452b2. Title: Modification of Keyword Detection. Sounds technical, right? Open the file. The system still analyzes the environment before you speak. It still determines whether you're in a car or in bed. They took the same technology, hid it behind the excuse of a voice assistant, and patented it again. This is an accident. It's a decade-long plan. The result? The microphone is always on, and you signed the permission.
The device can continuously process ambient audio to detect not only wake words, but specific sounds, including furniture moving, human conversations, or a car engine, to infer user context. You heard that right. They're not just listening for a magic word. The patent explicitly describes the ability to classify your entire sound environment. If the algorithm hears a frying pan sizzling, it knows you're cooking. If it hears an engine, it knows you're driving. They're not just listening to what you say. They're mapping how you live, second by second. Have you noticed how easy it is to say yes? The accept buttons are big, colorful, inviting. The deny options are hidden, gray, buried under 3 menus. They're called dark patterns. Cognitive traps designed by behavioral psychologists to push you into surrendering your digital sovereignty without realizing it. Take location settings. They tell you, enable to improve maps. They don't tell you that by enabling it, The app learns not just where you are, but who you're with. If two phones stay within a few meters of each other for several minutes, the algorithm creates a proximity link. Now your interests become theirs. If your friend talks about a product, the ad appears on your screen. They didn't need to listen to you. They listened to him.
Watch the words. Legal language is a weapon. When you read improve user experience or train the algorithm, your brain imagines a supercomputer crunching data in a bunker. Binary code. Zeros and ones. You're wrong. Artificial intelligence doesn't learn by itself. It needs teachers to correct it. And who are those teachers? Human beings. The clause you need to look for mentions human review or third parties. Here's what that means. Your audio file doesn't stay on your phone. It's packaged, shipped across the ocean, and ends up in the headphones of a real person.
An international investigation blew open a bomb the tech giants hoped would stay buried. Google, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, all of them had teams of contractors, thousands of workers, often precarious, in anonymous offices from Ireland to India, pay to do one thing: listen. Official excuse: we need to verify accents and requests. But whistleblowers told a different story. They listened not only to commands like "what's the weather," but fragments of private life recorded by mistake. Violent arguments between spouses. People discussing confidential business. Intimate encounters in bedrooms. In one case, an employee reported hearing what unmistakably sounded like an assault. When he asked supervisors what to do, the answer was chilling: not our problem. Transcribe it. Move on. The whistleblower story. This is based on the real testimony of a contractor working for a third-party company hired by Google in Belgium. Among the thousands paid to listen was a man tasked with transcribing a few seconds of audio at a time. One day, instead of weather request, he heard silence, a bedroom, broken by heavy breathing, then a scream. A woman. She wasn't talking to her phone. The phone had activated by mistake. A false trigger, capturing what appeared to be an ongoing case of domestic violence. The contractor removed his headphones, shaking. He went to his supervisor and said, "What do we do?" "We should call the police. We have the IP address. We have the data. We can save her." The answer still haunts him. Our contract forbids intervention. Your job is to transcribe, flag keywords, and move on. What happens beyond the microphone does not exist. He quit shortly after. He revealed that roughly 1% of the recordings he listened to were errors. Private conversations, intimate moments, corporate secrets, all cataloged, all archived.
But there's another document, even more disturbing. It involves silver push technology. It's called UXDT, ultrasonic cross-device tracking. Here, we're not even talking about audible sound. Picture this. You're watching TV. A commercial emits an ultrasonic signal above human hearing range. You can't hear it. Your phone can. The microphone captures the signal and instantly pings a server. at that exact moment. The company knows you're sitting on that couch, watching that channel at that time. They've just linked your TV identity to your smartphone profile without you saying a single word. It's a conversation between machines, happening in the absolute silence of your room. So, what happens to these recordings after contractors analyze them? Welcome to the metadata black market. There are companies you've never heard of, data brokers with names like Axiom or Experian. They buy packaged lives from big tech. One investigation revealed that even prayer apps, even menstrual tracking apps, were selling data to third parties. Imagine your voice, your confessions, your weakest moments turned into an Excel file sold to the highest bidder. Health insurers raising premiums because they heard your chronic cough in a voice message. Banks denying loans because an algorithm detected stress in your voice during a financial discussion. This isn't the future. It's today's price list.
So where do our voices go? The answer is brutal. They don't disappear. They're sent to servers in countries with different privacy laws. They're fragmented, anonymized only in theory, and listened to by human ears to make the product more profitable. Once your voice leaves the device, it stops being yours. It becomes an asset. You think the microphone activates only when you say, "Hey Google." But microphones are always on standby. A similar sound, a noise, a phrase from the TV, and the system wakes up, records seconds, sends everything. You don't notice. But in the database of your life, that moment has been archived.
Many believe revoking microphone permission is enough. Illusions. At the hardware level, the microphone is a physical component responding to electrical impulses. There are patents filed, never denied, describing systems that can reactivate low-power sensors, even when the operating system claims they're off. It's called the always-on processor, a tiny chip that consumes almost no energy and never sleeps. It allows instant wake-up, but it's an ear without eyelids. As long as there's battery power, the chip can transmit signals. Ever noticed your phone warming slightly when unused? Or the battery draining overnight? It's not always updates. Sometimes your phone is reporting home.
And yet, as disturbing as the idea of someone listening may be, this is old tech, analog spying. Big tech realized listening is inefficient, expensive, and legally risky. Why listen to what you say when they can predict what you'll think? Zuckerberg doesn't need microphones to know you want to go to Japan. He needs far less.
You still think the problem is a microphone? You're stuck in the last century. Listening is inefficient. The real secret, the one you won't find in any public dossier, is spectrum synchronization. They don't need your voice. They exploit micro-vibrations from your phone's gyroscope and accelerometer. When you speak near a device, sound waves vibrate internal components. Even with the microphone disabled by software, motion sensors capture those frequencies. It's physics, reality, and no privacy switch can disable the laws of nature. But there's something even worse. A crime happening every second, in plain sight, that no court has dared to prosecute. They call it shadow profiling. They create digital identities of people who never installed the app. If your friend has it and you don't, but you spend time together, the system creates a ghost version of you. It knows who you are, what you buy, where you go, even if you never agreed to anything. They're stealing the digital lives of those who chose to stay out. And the worst crime of all, manipulation of free will. They don't just use data to sell shoes. They use reinforcement algorithms to test how far they can push you into anger or sadness to keep you glued to the screen. They're hacking your brain chemistry, injecting microdoses of dopamine and cortisol on demand. It's digital kidnapping. Is it illegal to manipulate a population's mental health for profit? As long as they call it engagement, no one goes to prison. The microphone is just the bait. The real trap is that they don't just know what you say. They know what you'll say tomorrow. In the next episode of Axiomia, we'll turn off the microphone and show you how they track every step, every desire, every friend, without recording a single word. The real nightmare begins when you believe you're silent. Subscribe to the channel for part 2 of the dossier. This is Axiomia, and our investigation continues.